You can't understand everything there is to know about a place or a person just by looking at it. Sometimes you still don't figure out everything there is to know, even after you spend decades studying it. From mysterious tunnels hidden beneath the island of Keros to strange fossils that could rewrite part of humanity's evolutionary story, these discoveries continue to divide experts and fuel debate. And trust us, by the end of this video you'll be arguing too. So, let's begin with number 15. Mungo Man. Few discoveries have changed Australia's ancient story as dramatically as the remains known as Mungo Man. Found in 1974 near Lake Mungo in New South Wales, the skeleton belonged to a man who lived roughly 42,000 years ago, making him one of the oldest known Australians ever discovered. What captured archaeologists' attention was not merely his age. Traces of red ochre still coated parts of the remains, revealing evidence of a carefully planned burial ceremony. That detail transformed the discovery from a simple fossil find into proof of symbolic thought, ritual behavior, and complex cultural traditions deep in humanity's past. Red ochre appears in burial customs across many ancient societies. Its meaning remains uncertain, although many researchers suspect it represented blood, life, or spiritual renewal. Mungo Man stands among the earliest examples of that practice anywhere in the world. His bones also tell another story. Severe arthritis affected him during life, but he survived well into adulthood. Someone must have helped him. Someone provided food and care. But who is still a mystery? Number 14. Star people of the Native American stories about visitors from the stars appear in many cultures, but some of the weirdest and most wonderful come from the indigenous peoples of North America. Passed down through multiple generations, these traditions speak of beings who descended from the sky and shared knowledge with those living on the land. According to the stories, these visitors taught farming techniques, healing practices, and spiritual customs that helped communities survive and grow. In some versions, the star people arrived aboard shining objects that crossed the sky before settling on Earth. Other accounts describe individuals who journeyed into the heavens with these mysterious visitors and later returned carrying wisdom they had never possessed before. Similar themes appear in traditions from distant parts of the world, which is one reason the stories continue to attract attention today. Most historians view them as mythology shaped by imagination. Others believe they may preserve memories of unusual events long forgotten. Whatever the truth may be, the debate has never completely disappeared. And maybe will never. Number 13. Ars Notoria. Throughout history, countless books have promised hidden knowledge, secret wisdom, or supernatural abilities. Few have attracted as much fascination as the Ars Notoria. According to tradition, anyone who mastered its prayers and invocations could dramatically improve memory, understanding, and learning. That claim alone has kept people debating the manuscript for centuries. The work is usually associated with the Lesser Key of Solomon, though parts of it can be traced to much earlier medieval sources. Most surviving versions appeared during the 17th century, but scholars know the text evolved over a long period and likely drew from writings several hundred years older. Its pages are filled with elaborate prayers, unusual symbols, and instructions intended to help a reader gain divine knowledge. Some viewed it as a religious exercise. Some considered it ritual magic disguised as scholarship. The biggest mystery is its origin. No one knows who compiled it, when the earliest version appeared, or how much of the Solomon connection is legend. That uncertainty continues to fuel debate today. Number 12. Sinauli chariot burial. The image of an ancient warrior riding into battle aboard a chariot is usually linked with distant civilizations in the Mediterranean or the Near East. But this discovery in India suggested that such traditions may have played a role there as well. Excavations at Sinauli revealed a burial unlike anything found on the Indian subcontinent. At the center was a carefully placed chariot surrounded by weapons, ornaments, and coffins containing human bones. The arrangement immediately signaled that the individual buried there held exceptional status. Dating suggests the tomb is 4,000 years old. Although time-damaged parts of the vehicle, decorative copper elements, and symbolic designs remain visible on the wheels. Many experts interpret these markings as representations of solar imagery. The discovery sparked considerable debate because chariot burials are extremely rare in South Asia. Some scholars view the site as proof of a warrior elite, with traditions previously unknown in the region. Whether this person belonged to a broader cultural practice or received uniquely prestigious treatment remains unknown. Number 11. Colgante disc. This disc in Lima's museum continues to spark curiosity. Created roughly 2,000 years ago, the object bears a striking design that many people immediately compare to a spiral galaxy. While that comparison looks nothing brain-blowing, the problem appears when researchers look closer. The pattern does not resemble the structure of the Milky Way as we understand it today. Its arrangement is different, raising questions about what the ancient artist intended to represent. Some suggest the design has nothing to do with astronomy and may instead symbolize a religious belief, a natural phenomenon, or an artistic tradition now lost to history. Others wonder whether it reflects observations of the sky that we no longer understand. No written explanation survives to settle the argument. Because of that absence, every interpretation remains speculative. The disc sits behind museum glass, but it continues to provoke discussions about what ancient people knew and how they viewed the universe around them. Number 10. Kasavaki. The ancient Tongan game. Modern sports can be rough, but few sound as demanding as a game played entirely beneath the surface of the ocean. Long before organized leagues, scoreboards, and stadium crowds, the people of Tonga practiced a contest known as Kasavaki. And by all accounts, it was not for the faint-hearted. The game used a heavy stone instead of a ball. Teams battled to move it between designated points among coral formations while holding their breath underwater. Strength mattered. Endurance mattered even more. Every crossing counted as a point, and every possession became a struggle against both opponents and the sea itself. Stories passed down through generations describe the game as extremely dangerous. Drownings were said to occur often enough that the activity eventually gained a grim reputation. According to tradition, King Tufahau eventually prohibited it after too many lives were lost. No one knows exactly when Kasavaki began. Some accounts place its origins more than 1,000 years in the past. If true, Tonga may have preserved one of the oldest continuously remembered team sports on Earth. Number 9. Triangular Roman watchtower. Roman military architecture followed patterns. Forts, walls, and watchtowers were usually built according to practical designs repeated across the empire. That is why a discovery in Bulgaria attracted so much attention. About 20 kilometers from modern Sofia, archaeologists found a Roman watchtower whose base forms a near-perfect triangle. Coins found at the site suggest it dates to the reign of Emperor Caracalla during the late 2nd or early 3rd century. The unusual shape immediately raised questions because triangular towers are exceptionally rare in Roman construction. Researchers believe the design may have been chosen to suit the surrounding terrain. One side faces a slope, creating an angle that could help deflect impacts rather than absorb them directly. Excavations also revealed a stone-lined well and traces of later rebuilding during the Byzantine and medieval periods. Even so, the original decision to abandon conventional layouts remains difficult to explain. The tower demonstrates that Roman engineers could adapt when necessary, though exactly why they chose this design remains debated. Number 8. The 10-million-year-old teeth of Germany. A pair of teeth discovered in Germany sparked a debate that reached far beyond European archaeology. Hidden within ancient sediments near Eppelsheim, the fossils appear ordinary at first. Their estimated age is what makes them rare. Researchers determined that the teeth are around 9.7 million years old. They belonged either to a previously unknown hominin relative or to a type of great ape unlike anything documented in Europe. Either possibility presents a challenge. Traditional models place the earliest stages of human evolution firmly within Africa. Fossils supporting that view have been found across the continent for years. The German teeth, however, are significantly older than many comparable finds and appear in a location where nobody expected to find such evidence. No one is suggesting that modern humans originated in Germany. It does not support that conclusion. What it does suggest is that the evolutionary story leading toward humanity may have been more geographically complex than once believed. Number 7. Liang Panish Cave. The story of human origins becomes more complicated with every major discovery, and few finds have complicated it more than the remains uncovered inside Liang Panish Cave on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi. In 2021, researchers announced the discovery of a young hunter-gatherer who lived roughly 7,000 years ago. The burial itself was remarkable, but the real surprise came later. When scientists analyzed her DNA, they encountered a genetic profile unlike any previously identified population. She belonged to the mysterious Toalian culture, a group known mainly through distinctive stone tools called Maros points. Beyond those artifacts, very little is known about the people who once occupied this region. Even more intriguing was the presence of Denisovan ancestry within her genome. Denisovans remain one of the least understood branches of ancient humanity, known primarily from fragmentary remains found thousands of kilometers away in Siberia. The discovery suggested a far more complex human story across Southeast Asia than researchers had imagined. All right, now, let's head over to Number 6. The Costa Rica UFO photograph. Well, there are thousands of UFO photographs you can find on the internet, but very few continue to attract serious discussion decades after they were taken. One of the most famous emerged from Costa Rica in 1971 during an aerial mapping mission. Photographer Sergio Loaiza was documenting the area around Lake Cote when his camera captured something unexpected. In a single frame, a metallic disc-shaped object appears near the lake. What makes the image unusual is that the object does not appear in the photographs taken immediately before or after. For years, the image remained largely unknown outside official circles. When it eventually became public, researchers began examining every detail. Some suggested the object was dust, a flaw in the film, or damage to the camera. Others disagreed. Modern digital scans of the original negative helped eliminate several of those explanations, leaving the object's identity unresolved. No one has successfully identified what appears in the photograph. Number 5. The earliest Slavic writing history often treats the early Slavs as a people without writing until much later periods. That belief survived for generations until a small piece of bone discovered in a Czech cave forced historians to take another look. The find emerged from excavations at the Elny archaeological site, where researchers uncovered fragments of pottery alongside an animal rib covered with carved symbols. At first, the markings appeared ordinary, but further study revealed something unexpected. The symbols were not from the Glagolitic alphabet traditionally associated with the earliest Slavic writing. Instead, they matched Germanic runes. Radiocarbon testing dated the bone to roughly 1,400 years ago, making it the oldest known example connected to written communication among early Slavic communities. The inscription itself is frustratingly incomplete. It may represent a sequence of letters, perhaps even an alphabet, rather than a message. Because the bone broke long ago, certainty remains impossible. Even so, the discovery challenged long-held assumptions about cultural exchange in early Europe. Number 4. Proto-Elamite tablets. Deciphering an ancient script is difficult enough. Doing so without a known related language is an entirely different challenge. That is the problem facing researchers studying the Proto-Elamite tablets of Iran. Created around 5,000 years ago, these clay records preserve one of the oldest undeciphered writing systems ever discovered. More than 1,600 examples have been found, many containing carefully arranged symbols and numerical markings. At first glance, they appear similar to administrative records from neighboring Mesopotamia, but appearances can be deceptive. Despite decades of study, no one has managed to unlock the script. The name Proto-Elamite comes from its geographic connection to ancient Elam. Yet the writing system shares little with the later Elamite language. Even more frustrating, the script seems to have existed for only a few centuries before disappearing completely. That brief lifespan left few clues behind. Some researchers suspect the tablet's record trade, taxation, or economic activity. Others believe ceremonial functions are possible. Until the code is broken, archaeologists remain divided over what these mysterious texts were truly meant to say. Number 3. Kairos Pyramid and hidden tunnels from the surface. The island of Kairos already appears remarkable. Thousands of years ago, builders transformed a naturally shaped hill into a shining stepped monument covered in white stone. Sailors approaching across the sea would have seen it gleaming against the horizon long before reaching shore. But the greatest surprise was hidden beneath it. Recent excavations uncovered an intricate network of drainage and water management tunnels running below the structure. Their age stunned researchers. Some sections appear to predate famous Minoan engineering projects by more than 1,000 years. Evidence of advanced metalworking has also emerged from the site, suggesting capabilities once thought impossible for communities living during that era. The achievement becomes even more impressive when logistics enter the picture. Much of the marble used in construction does not naturally occur on Kairos. Tens of thousands of tons had to be transported across open water from neighboring islands. That required planning, organization, and resources on an enormous scale. How did they achieve that? Number 2. Underground city of Skonak. Beneath the surface of central Turkey lies a hidden world that remained unknown for centuries. The underground city of Skonak came to light in 1972 after a local farmer investigated a persistent drainage problem on his property. What he uncovered was astonishing. Carved deep into the rock were multiple underground levels connected by tunnels, chambers, and passageways extending far below the surface. The city contains a surprisingly advanced system of ventilation shafts, water access points, and communication channels that allow messages to travel between floors. Perhaps the most unusual feature is its defensive design. Narrow corridors could be sealed quickly, while openings above certain passageways may have been used to pour hot liquids onto intruders. Although some of these features likely belong to later periods, much of the city appears significantly older. Archaeologists continue debating who originally built the complex and when construction began. Unlike the more famous underground cities of Cappadocia, Skonak follows a distinct layout, making its origins particularly difficult to explain. Number 1. The Mayan Monkey Skull Helmet Well. This object looks scary. Shaped like a monkey's head and carved from stone, it resembles something halfway between a sculpture and a ceremonial mask. But archaeologists believe its purpose was far more practical. The artifact was found in the ancient Mayan city of Palenque and dates back to roughly the 3rd century. Although it resembles a skull, it is not made from bone. Instead, skilled artisans carved it from limestone and placed it inside an elite burial. Researchers suspect it represents protective equipment associated with an ancient ball game played throughout Mesoamerica. The sport carried deep religious and cultural significance, often extending far beyond simple competition. In some cases, participants faced ritual sacrifice after matches, giving the contests an intensity difficult to imagine today. The individual buried with this stone helmet may have been celebrated for achievements connected to the game. Rather than serving as a frightening object, the carving was likely intended as a symbol of honor and prestige. But as we say, the truth has vanished with the people. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, share it, and subscribe. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you very soon.